marketing and went back to school and decided to get a degree in computer science. And the funny thing is I also started college pre-med, which says a lot for maybe how we end up in the engineering world. I took various roles. I ended up working for Nortel, the PBX company that used to be one of the top players, and ended up working for a customer. While I was at the customer, I liked hanging out with the data guys and saw a lot of similarity between voice and data. So I wanted to figure out how to learn about data. So all the people I worked for went to a startup in New York City, and they did not need voice people. And then lo and behold, this really cool technology came out called VoIP. And I was asked to join the company and be the practice director. And so I actually created a practice for a partner, with a Cisco partner now, and did installments of IPT before it really even became IPT. Cisco's first product called Celsius, that's how long I've been doing voice, for 10 years plus, was the first product I ever installed. And then luckily, after a lot of years of trying, I became pregnant with my daughter. And commuting, I live in Connecticut, and commuting into Manhattan just did not work with a newborn. And in my case, to really show me that she had the upper hand, she was born 5 weeks premature. So I learned really quickly that when you had a child, they kind of dictate your life a little bit more. And my husband and I have been married for 23 years, so you can obviously see there was a big adjustment for us to have this, brand new baby. So I took a job working for a customer who wanted to do Cisco. So I took their whole Nortel environment with their call centers and converted everything over to Cisco IPT and Contact Center Enterprise. And I did that for 2 years. When it was done, I was kind of bored. There was like nothing exciting and new to do. At that time, I lucked out. A friend of mine called who worked for Cisco, and they were looking for a consulting systems engineer who knew contact centers. So I got hired in that role in Connecticut, and then the consulting systems engineer who also supported Connecticut left, and they asked me, well, do you want to do both jobs? And I'm like, yeah, sure, what the heck, I'll do both jobs. I'll do contact center and I'll do UC. And then recently I got promoted into a TSA role, and I look at all collaboration technologies. So for someone like me, it's great. I have a very short attention span. I get bored really easily. So the minute I start thinking I know something really well, something cool and exciting comes along. My day is a little bit, is kind of interesting. I also have all the great gadgets, which makes it really easy. My daughter is 7 years old now, and it makes it very easy for me to have that flexibility of doing her school activities, but also having a normal life. So this week, I'm on the road most of this week. I get her on the bus at 8:30 in the morning in most cases, and that's a pretty consistent experience for her, and she likes being able to get on the bus with her friends. And then I start my day, and I'll either be a conference call, or like today I'm in our Farmington office for a couple of hours of meetings, and then I have client meetings in the afternoon. And I really try and make the work-life balance work because I have no problem working later hours, and our jobs give us that flexibility. So I schedule my meetings around a 9 to 4 time frame so that I can get home at a normal hour and take her to things like karate. I'm actually, and I've never thought these words would ever come out of my mouth, I am a brownie troop leader. And anyone who knows me to this day still laughs about like me out there selling Girl Scout cookies. It's kind of strange. But I like it, and my daughter absolutely loves it. And, she goes to dance classes, and I'm in the mom, and when they have their recitals on the stage, making sure the kids get all organized. So for her, she doesn't really, she knows she obviously knows I work, but she knows that she can reach me anytime. A perfect example is I have a Tandberg video unit at my house. It's an EX90. And I was in St. Louis for a business meeting for one of my clients, and I needed to test their video unit. So I called my home video unit, and my daughter answered. So I was able to talk to her. Well, she thought that was the coolest thing. So the week I was gone, she'd call me each day and be like, well, can we talk? And I'd get on the unit with her for like 15 minutes. She'd see my face, and she'd be perfectly happy. And at nighttime, I was able to put her in bed like I normally would. So I leverage when I do have to be away for a week for meetings. I use the video on husband, he's perfectly fine. And the same thing, I am definitely one of those people, I don't want to do the takeout, so I cook every night. And the days that I do work at home, I love because, and again, these are the funny things that, people who know me, I go down and I do the laundry, or now I got a crock pot and I, throw dinner in the crock pot while I'm upstairs, between conference calls. So it's given me a lot of flexibility, and I have the same, the same as Alexa. When Emma goes to bed at 8 o'clock at night, if I've had to go to her school for teacher meetings or she's doing a field trip and I get the luxury of getting to attend it, then I make those hours up in the evening, responding to emails or organizing my next day.
Anita, we have about 1
Yes.
minute. We have 1 minute and then we have to switch.
No, I am done.
You
I
are
told you.
done.
Excellent.